All right, so we've talked about some of the different ways that we can read a book in kindergarten especially, right? We can read the pictures. We can talk about what we see in the pictures and create our own story. Or we can read the words. We can try to read the words or make the sounds that the letters hear, right? The last way in kindergarten that we can read a book is to retell it. To retell a story that we've already heard. Now, the good thing about retelling is that you can do it with books, or you can do it with stories that you've heard, or you can do it with movies or TV shows that you've watched. So there's lots of ways that you can practice retelling. I'm going to show you with this book, it's The Three Bears. It's the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Do you know that story? Now, I know that story because I've heard it a lot of times, so I don't think I'm going to even need to look at the words or the pictures to tell you the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I will flip through the pictures so you can look at it while I tell it, but I don't really need them to help. So Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Now, Goldilocks and the Three Bears is a fairy tale, so it probably starts with once upon a time, right? So once upon a time, three bears lived in a little cottage in the woods, right? And they woke up, oh yes, there's Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear. And they woke up one day and decided that they were going to make porridge for breakfast, right? So Mama Bear makes the porridge, but when they sit down to eat it, it's too hot, right? It's too hot and they can't eat it. So they decide to go for a walk. And they leave their porridge to cool and they go for a walk in the woods. While they're gone, right, while they're off on their walk, who shows up at their house? Goldilocks. Goldilocks comes over and she invites herself inside even though there's nobody there, right? Goldilocks. So she comes inside to try, she sees the bowls of porridge and she's very interested. So she tries the bowl of porridge. Papa Bear's porridge is too hot, Mama Bear's porridge is too cold, but Baby Bear's porridge is just right. So she eats it all up, right? Let's see. Then she goes and she finds their chairs in the living room. Papa Bear's chair rocks too fast, Mama Bear's chair rocks too slow, Baby Bear's chair is just right. So she sits in it and sits in it and sits in it, and then it breaks, right? She breaks his chair. Then she's tired. She goes upstairs to take a bed. Papa Bear's bed is too hard. Mama Bear's bed is too soft. Baby Bear's bed is just right, right? So she gets in and she falls asleep. And then the bears come home while she's sleeping away, right? And they get to the kitchen and they notice that somebody has been eating their porridge, and Baby Bear is upset because somebody's been eating his porridge and they've eaten all of it up, right? Let's see. Then they see their chairs and they notice that somebody has been sitting in their chairs, and Baby Bear notices that his chair is broken. And then they go upstairs and they notice that their beds have been slept in, right? Somebody's been sleeping in my bed, they yell. And then Baby Bear notices that Goldilocks is still in his bed. And Goldilocks gets woken up by three bears looking at her, so she jumps out of bed and runs screaming from the house. Ah! And they never see Goldilocks again. The end. So, telling a story that you've heard before helps you to become a good reader, right? Because the story I told was probably pretty close to the words in that book. Now, you can retell stories that you've heard before, or stories that you like or love, or you can tell stories of movies that you've seen or TV shows that you've watched. See if you can tell the story without watching it. See if you remember what happens and can tell the story or act out the story without watching it. And let me know how it goes. Good luck.